Hi everyone. Thanks for tuning this episode of Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have an incredible guest. We have the highly acclaimed R&B and singer and songwriter Cheri Dennis. Cheri is best known for her time with Bad Boy Entertainment and collaborations during the golden era of R&B and hip hop. Cheri has worked alongside some of the biggest names in the music industry while building a career defined by soulful vocals, timeless records, and authentic storytelling. Known for hit songs including I Love You, Portrait of Love, and Ooh La La, Cheri made her mark on the charts while establishing herself as one of the standout voices of her generation. Cheri's powerful new single, Garden of Eden, marks an exciting chapter in her career, showcasing her growth as an artist while delivering the soulful vocals, honesty, and authenticity that have defined her music for years. Welcome to the multi-talented Cheri Dennis, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
You're most welcome. All right, let's jump straight into it. Firstly, take us back to the beginning. What was life like growing up for you in Cleveland, Ohio, your family, and everything relating to that?
Cleveland was Cleveland has a little bit of everything. So I think I lived in a suburb called Shaker Heights. But my grandmother lived in the inner city, so I kind of got both perspectives. I grew up in the church choir, so I think that is kind of where I discovered my voice. And then for my 12th birthday, my dad took me because he saw the talent. He took me to a studio session. He wrote a song for my best friend and I, and then we went to the studio, and that was like one of the best gifts because it started this whole, journey of music for me, like professionally for me.
And what do you love most about music? Like even back then to now, what is the key, I guess, ingredient or key part that you really love most about music?
I That's a multi-layered question because I think that I enjoy connecting with people. I think music is a universal language, and it doesn't matter if we speak the same language, if we have similar lifestyles. I think sometimes music is kind of like the crossroad where people meet, and kind of have relatable frequencies. I think we all desire love. We all have been hurt. We all want joy. We all want love, and I think those are universal topics, and music kind of encompasses all of those topics. So yeah, I think connecting with people, that was like one of the first. I saw that I could affect people through my voice, through singing, and also, just being able to take myself away sometimes when I'm depressed, when I'm sad, when I'm happy. There's always a soundtrack for those things, and it kind of can pull me. If I'm in a good mood, it could take me someplace greater, and if I'm not in such a good mood, it'll kind of pull me out of that mood. So I think music is just it can be healing.
Wow, that's an incredible answer, and yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's sensational. Um, what does your family mean to you personally and professionally too?
Gosh, well, I mean, I'm a daddy's girl. I'm one of three sisters, but that's from my mom. I'm a daddy's girl. My dad raised me, and we are super close. I have one daughter. She's my only, and my father's only grandchild. So, in this space of my life, family means everything. I think the reason I make music and I still pursue music, my why is different now. I have an 8-year-old daughter. My dad is aging, so I think the tables have turned. My concern is being able to uh, be of service to my family. I think when I was younger, it was about, oh, you want to be famous, you want to be rich, you want to be this and that. But I think my why has changed. So for me in this space of my life, definitely family means it is the reason.
Tremendous. All right, tell me about your song Garden of Eden, what it represents, and how the inspiration behind it.
So I know people would typically think that it has some sort of religious meaning. Uh, Not so much. It was just kind of a play on words because if you listen to the song, the lyrics, the first verse is, "Hey baby, your fruit looks ripe to me, baby, so I'll pick. Maybe it's wrong, but..." So I don't know if I can say that here.
Yeah.
Um, but it is really just about the story of how Adam and Eve, they weren't supposed to eat from the tree of life and they did, and so it's kind of like a metaphor for me kind of engaging with someone that I'm not really supposed to be engaging with, but I've absolutely thrown caution to the wind and said forget it. And that's kind of what the Garden of Eden is, just about forbidden circumstances.
Sure. And is that the specific, I guess, narrative, or actually even better, is there a specific emotion, or is that what you want people to be drawn to that listen to it?
I think it just shows a part of my personality. I think
Sure.
other people can relate to it. I think we all have been in situations. We would all like to think that when we get into relationships, they're always very linear and clean cut and not messy. But as we date and we are in relationships, we find more so than not that they are complicated, that they are multi-layered, that it is never a straight shot to happiness. And so I think that that's kind of what that song is about. We've all done something naughty at,
Yeah.
went into a space that we might not have necessarily supposed to have been in. And so that's what that song is about. I wouldn't say
Sure.
I'm like that 100% of the time, but I have had experiences.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. We're all human beings, right? It's just
Absolutely.
part,
Absolutely.
part and parcel of being a human. Um, Tell me about your song. Let's go back actually. One of your breakthrough records was I Love You. Tell me
Yeah.
about that time, what it was like, and yeah, even just getting the recognition and I guess getting mainstream and the momentum behind it.
Absolutely. So, shout out to Ryan Leslie, who produced the record, Corey Lightsey, who wrote the record. Phenomenal songwriter, phenomenal producer. At the time, I had been at Bad Boy for a while, and we were just kind of trying to figure out what the single was going to be. And I recorded a few records with Ryan. And so we just decided, like, we were like, we're going to go with this one. At the time, Diddy was not on board. I don't know if it's that he didn't believe in the record. Maybe he had another vision or another plan. Um, and so we just kind of got tired of waiting. And so we white labeled the song. Rich Dollaz, who was at the time was an exec at Bad Boy, he helped myself along with my manager at the time, um, to kind of get the DJs playing it. Shout out to DJ Will. There's a few other DJs who broke the record in the clubs. And I think Diddy started to hear the record in the clubs. And that's kind of how that, like, just kind of caught fire. And that's how that happened.
Tremendous. And let's go back. Tell me about Portrait of Love as well. Tell me about that experience and the background behind that.
Oh my goodness. Just a little fun fact. I didn't really care for Portrait of Love.
Okay, sure.
And I think that happens to artists a lot. You're given records that you don't always believe in. Then I didn't really love the record. I took forever to record it, hoping that they would scrap it.
Oh
They
wow.
didn't. But it's a really good record, and surprisingly enough, more people did not really like the record. And now that it's been some time has passed, I'm older now. I think I was in my feelings about a lot of, you when you're young, you have like this vision for yourself. You want all the creative control. And I think at the time that might have clouded my ability to really see the song for what it was. Now looking back, I think it's a really great song. And also, I'm a huge Prince fan. And of course, it has a whole lot of like, Princey undertones to it. And so sometimes I'm conflicted. I'm like, how could I not like the record back then? Because I'm such a huge Prince fan. But yeah, that's the story behind Portrait of Love. So grateful for the record now, but then I wasn't like such a huge fan.
That's a fascinating story. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah.
Is there a song in your whole catalog that's a personal favorite, that you just go, wow, that's my number one.
I mean, I've recorded songs that the world does not know of yet,
Sure.
but if you're speaking of songs that like I recorded that people actually have heard or that have been put out,
It can be
I
both. It can
I,
be
I
both,
don't
yeah.
I don't know if I could just like if I could put it to one? Could I get like a couple?
Yeah, you can get
Because
a couple. Yeah, go.
I love you because I mean, of course, it's it's my baby. It's probably one of the most popular, if not the most popular. There's a song called "So Complete" that was on a compilation album that we did as a label. It's called The Saga Continues, and I had that was one of my very first recorded records. I think that is like one of my favorites. And then there's a song on my album called Waiting that I actually wrote, which is like one of my favorites. So yeah, those would be like really personal to me.
Sure. Um, what would you like your legacy to be? With, you've had an incredible career, and obviously it's still going now, and you're really getting momentum again. Yeah, what would you like your legacy to be?
Um, well, in terms of music, I would hope that people are inspired by my voice. Um, that my songs have given them joy, brought them out of some sort of tough space. Um, and then as a human being, I just hope that like people that encounter me walk away, being like, oh, that's a really, you know, it's a really solid person, you know. I don't really care about being liked all the time, but if people walk away being like, she's kind, that that is very important to me. So I hope that that would be my legacy, that one, people respect my music and respect the gift that has been given to me, and as a human being, that they walk away not thinking that I'm like a, a horrible human.
Impressive. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Moving from Cleveland to New York, that was a big leap, taking a leap. Tell me the
Yeah.
story behind that, and I guess how it transitioned or transpired, should I say, to getting into Bad Boy initially.
So my dad is from Cleveland. My mom is from New York.
Sure.
So I have family in New York. I have sisters. My sister actually manages me. Um, I was, I had again back to the 12-year-old, the studio. So then from there, I got in a singing group that was really popular in Cleveland called Too Spoiled, and we did a lot of things. We did BET. We did. I mean, that was my life from like 12 to 16. So music was kind of like something I was actually pursuing even as a teenager professionally. And so people had kind of known about me. I had a manager that was based in Chicago, and so there was a young lady named Tuve, who was I want to say she was an executive. And she reached out to me. She wanted me to be in a singing group. And so when I was 18, they flew me out. They put me in a hotel with a girl from London, another girl from the Bronx, and we were going to do this group things. But in the interim of that, I started meeting people and networking, and I started doing pre-production. And the guy that was helping me do the pre-production, shout out to Jimmy Cozier, he was shopping, me as an artist, and he shopped me to Diddy, and I got invited to Kim Porter's birthday party, and he sat down next to me, and I sang over whatever music was playing at the party, and that's kind of how I got signed. I mean,
Wow.
I for other things going on in the background, but my initial introduction was me singing over like random music at a party for Puff, and that's how I ended up at Bad Boy.
Incredible. And what was your time? That was the golden era, I guess, of hip hop and rap and R&B, incredible. What was your experience and time like there?
It was good and bad. It was good and bad. I mean, the obvious elephant in the room, I can't really speak on, those things because that wasn't my experience. But in terms of like business wise, creative, conflicts, sometimes it was really, really bad, being like, not satisfied with certain decisions, song picks, those type of things. But then when it was really good, it was really good. And I'm appreciative of the time that I spent there. I'm appreciative of the opportunity that was given to me. I'm still being afforded certain things from that opportunity that was given to me. So it was up and down. It was good times, it was bad
Yeah,
times. And I was there a long time. I was signed to Bad Boy from the time that I was 19 until I was in my 30s. I didn't
that's a
have
long stint. Yeah,
yeah, I didn't have any other like musical home. So, just like with any other relationship, there's going to be like really, really, really positive moments, and then some, you know, some trials and tribulations. And I think that is true of my experience at Bad Boy, but always grateful for the experience and happy to still be able to do what I'm doing. I can only be grateful.
Yeah, I totally understand. You get that. Was obviously some legends at Bad Boy. Who was there any? Who was the most talented artist that you saw at Bad Boy, or you worked with, or yeah?
I mean, I've come across some really talented. I think everyone that I encountered there at Bad Boy had a certain level of talent. Did the world actually get to see uh, it in totality? I don't necessarily think that. I don't even think some of the talent that was there got to come to its full fruition. Some have passed on. Some got dropped. Some decided that music wasn't for them and decided to just go back to a more, normal existence. But yeah, I think all the talent that I came across at Bad Boy was deserving.
Sure. What what was the biggest misconception about Bad Boy? Or what is even better than that? What is something that people wouldn't know about Bad Boy? Being inside the ecosystem there, as opposed to being outside it, what is something that yeah people wouldn't know?
Um, that's a really good question. That it was always bad with Diddy. That there was just this negative, like, no, like we had some as a collective, because whatever was going on with that individual is not everyone else's story. Like, we all have our own lives, we all have other things going on, and as a collective there were some really, really awesome moments at Bad Boy. Like, again, when I recorded The Saga Continues, we were in Miami. We got to collaborate, we got to have good times, we partied together. Like, it I think the misconception is that, like, this cult like negative thing going on at all times, and it absolutely was not that. you know um and I can speak for myself. Like, you know it was a lot of camaraderie, it was a lot of really good moments. And so, yeah, I think that would be the big, that whatever cloud of whatever happened or is happening was the existence of everyone at Bad Boy.
That's amazing. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
Oh man, the best compliment that I've ever received. That I don't know if it's the best compliment, but it's the most recent, and it really resonated with me. I posted some footage of like an event that I did when I was singing, and someone came through and said that I could listen to your voice all day long. And I mean, as a singer, you would hope that people never get tired of hearing you, that anytime that you have a message or a gift that you would like to give, that it is received in that manner, because we are artists, we are sensitive about our art. And so when someone says that to you, that is like a very humbling thing, because there's so many singers. There are so many people creating really good bodies of work and art. And, just to have someone say that out of all of the voices that are on the planet, that they could listen to yours all day. So for me, that I'm humbled by that. I'm honored to hear that.
Tremendous. Who would be a dream collaboration? If you could collaborate with anyone on the planet, who would that dream be?
It's passed on already. It would be Prince.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you mean if someone that's alive?
You can be both, but yeah, like let's do it live then, because you've already obviously answered that. Yeah, he's
For
unfortunately passed
real.
on. Okay, sure.
For real. As like production, for real, absolutely.
Okay. And well, apart from music, what was your biggest dream growing up?
To do music.
Sure.
And it actually came true. I don't know if I ever was like so caught up in like dollar amounts. Like, I have to be this rich or this famous. I don't know if that was ever, but it was like in my mind, I was already a musician, like a professional musician. Like, even before it happened, like that was already my trajectory. Like, I was like, I'm a singer. Then, like, that's my life. And I think that dream has absolutely come to fruition. So, yeah. I think I gotta come up with another dream or goal, like, or to like add on, expound on my dream.
I get it. I get it. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Mm, know what you are getting into. Read contracts, don't sign anything. Please do your due diligence. And I think a lot of us heard it and we let it go in one ear and out the other because there was the desire to just be signed or just to, be discovered. I think the best advice anyone could give anyone in any type of business is to please know your business. Please pay attention to everything that is written in black and white because at some point it is going to matter.
Right. Well, looking back to when you first started, say, being in New York to where you are now, how do you think you've matured?
Oh my gosh. Do you have all day?
Yeah, we go. Let's go.
I mean, you know what? I got signed when I was 19. I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but it's not
Yeah.
19, right? Um, I mean, personally, like I'm a mom now, and that just happened. Like I was chasing music for so long. Like I recently had my daughter. She's 8. Um, that in and of itself has changed my life tremendously in the last 8 years. Um, I mean, I'm a more emotionally mature. My discernment, my situational awareness, my ability to read people, my ability to say no, my ability to say yes and actually mean it has changed significantly. I don't really do a whole lot of things that I don't want to do anymore. When I was younger, I would say yes to things that I didn't want to do and be mad about it. Um, no is a complete sentence these days. Yes is also a complete sentence, but I think that just I mean multi-layered. I'm a grown woman now. Absolutely a grown woman. The things that I was interested in when I was younger, I don't have the interest in anymore. I don't even know if I have the energy for it.
Yeah.
I like real cool. I gotta be in the mood for like chaos. I like real calm, cool situations. So yeah, I think it's like night and day. I'm still the same Cheri, but a much more polished, calm. I mean, I'm still very much a rebel, as you can see. The pink hair, the tattoos. I think I'm gonna always be that person, but it's a real calm rebel these days.
It's really cool. What's the bravest thing you've ever done in your life?
Had a baby.
Sure.
Uh, because for a long time I was like cool. I didn't music was my baby. I was happy like being free and I'm like a gypsy and a nomad of sorts. So I loved just I would go visit places and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live here for a year or two. That is no longer an option because there's like another person that I have to completely think about how does this affect them. But I was really scared of that level of commitment. Um, I think that's why I'm not married. And I think that's why I waited so long to have a child because committing was like a really, the only thing I was committed to was music. Um, and even that sometimes I was like, hold on, I need a break. I'm gonna take a break. The commitment for me has always been like a scary thing. And I don't think it actually even hit me that I was having a baby until I was like being like walked into the hospital and it was like, okay, this is actually happening. So I think the bravest thing that I've ever done in my life is become a mom and face it head on.
Wonderful.
And I'm learning. I'm learning every day.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is the thing you love most about being a mother?
Getting to see things again for the first time through her eyes. And then also learning things about myself that I probably never would have been able to find out had I not become a mom because being a parent stretches you. I mean, in every capacity, it stretches you. Patience, compassion. Uh, you know, I think for moms, it's now your heart living outside your body and being every day you're like in a constant state of on guard because now you have this human being that is depending on you to navigate situations that they don't understand, you know. So and listen, I don't I don't have the answers to everything. So sometimes like my kid could come and ask me questions and I'm like in my head I'm like, how do I even answer this? You know, how do I answer it? But yeah, I think that is the biggest act of bravery for me, is just taking this responsibility on and being present all the time, you know, because as a parent you have to be present, and that's not always an easy thing, you know.
Yeah, I'll totally get it. I had a 1-year-old, well, she's 13 months now, so I'm really
Oh,
understanding it.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Her name's Alara. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, I totally get it. Like being from a father's perspective, I totally understand what you're talking about.
and shout out to Ronnie, my baby. She's like
Yeah,
my twin, my little broke breast friend.
yeah, yeah. It's cool being a
And
parent. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And it's cool to see myself in her. It's also cool to see her dad in her. You know, sometimes I catch, you know, a look, or I'll catch a, you know, and I'll be like, wow, that's her dad all day long. You know, just to see another human, or see how you are like transformed into this new design, you know. She's definitely an improvement on the design though. I think
def
as all of our kids should be.
definitely.
Yeah.
Looking back at your esteemed career, what's been the proudest moment, and what has been some pinch me moments that stand out for you?
Mm. I think the proudest moment is when I actually got my record deal, because in that moment I felt like I did it, you know, like not especially at that time, you know, like now there with the internet and like other things, like other channels, it's not as, you don't need the machine as much these days. You know, you can go viral, you can put out your own music on your platforms, but you know, then it was more like how often did people get record deals, you know? And so I think that was one of the proudest moments for me. And then I just recently had a proud moment because, you know, I'm getting back into putting music out. And so for a lot of years, my child saw me as just mom. Like she heard the music and she saw videos, but she sees me as mom more often on a day-to-day basis than Cheri Dennis, you know? And so I've been on tour with an artist named Lisa for almost 2 years now. But I also just put out my own project, and I had an EP release a couple weeks ago, and my dad and my daughter came out for that, and for her to actually see me perform. And also I had a show in DC over the weekend, and she came out for that Father's Day. My dad came out, and for her to actually see me in my element as like not mom but as like Cheri Dennis, and to see just the awe in her face, you know. I think that is like one of my proudest moments, for her to see me like as, you know, as like the way she turns on the TV and she sees all the other artists that she finds cool. It was cool to see her see
Yeah,
me in that moment as that, you know.
I get it. And she's going to be incredibly proud, as she gets older and she realizes her mom is.
She can sing. I'm proud of her already at 8. She's a phenomenal singer. I like it. That's another thing, like looking at her and seeing myself and seeing the potential is like I'm inspired. You know, it makes me go that much more hard.
Definitely, you're going to be opening doors for her realistically down the line.
The more and the ladder goes down, man. Because at some point I'm gonna hang it up. I mean, I'll probably always be creating, but like it'll be she'll be next up.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Cheri, thank you so much for coming on the show. I do
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for having me. This has been a really, really cool, you know, dialogue, and I appreciate it. Everyone, please check out the Garden of Eden. It's my baby, and I just hope that it inspires you as much as it inspired me making it.
Definitely, it's incredible. Thank you so much.
All right, have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye.